Brooks Mailbag Live right there. I think we're good there. And what I'm going to be doing for this live chat is I'm going to be reading to you comments from the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel. So I won't be able to look at you the whole time. I will be drinking Coke Zero. And I just got in from working like 4 or 5 hours, so I may take a bite of this. All right. Here we go. This one is from, it was a long one, from Bello Love 1070. So I'm going to read a letter. Not a letter, I'm going to read a comment from the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel, and then I'm going to weigh in on it. And if you guys have a comment, we'll read your comments. We'll be here for a little bit. So this one comes from Bello Love 1070. Honestly, there were times I couldn't believe the fairness and leeway. It infuriated me because of the victims and witnesses being exposed to it. The disrespect for her, the prosecution, and all, I'm guessing this is Judge Darrell, and all involved was beyond despicable. No doubt about that. This monster had talked, lied, and manipulated his way through 30 years of violence and crimes. What he did at that parade was heinous and self-serving. I think her doing what she did was more about DB showing his true side over and over. I think that she cares about the community to the point that she was not going to let her decisions give him any kind of chance of an appeal through her actions. Did you see the abuse she took and continued to be fair, maybe too fair? My point is, she was willing to put herself through all of that abuse, stood tall, and did all she could to ensure that DB was treated fairly. I think she sacrificed her reputation for that community and those victims and families. She took every proverbial punch that DB had and still was fair. That man is a master manipulator. He used every trick in the book and she took it. She allowed him to show his true colors and then some. I couldn't do that. Watching the sentencing video, she came out strong, firm, and brutally honest. Maybe it was strategy, maybe not. We may never know, but it took amazing effort and resilience to do what she did. Dedicated to making sure this monster was put away forever. Maybe we should focus on the entire body of work. I honestly couldn't handle DB watching her. It was absolutely insane. Very, very good comment from Bella Love. That's BELLALUV 1070. Very, very good comment. And I happen to really agree with a lot of what she said. All right. This comment's from Mary M2811. Mary82811. Guys, if you like what I'm doing, smash that like button. You don't have to gift or anything like that, but smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments. All right? So we're doing Darrell Brooks Mailbag here at Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube. All letters, all comments about Darrell Brooks Jr. videos are being read here. A lot of them, not all of them. I can't read all of them, but a lot of them. I gave her an 85, maybe 88. She let him go way too much and looked weak in front of the jury. For example, when he refused to call a witness and they talked in circles until she sent the jury out. He definitely controlled the courtroom that time, not her, and the jury saw it. She could have told him in the pretrial hearings that there is a hierarchy in the courtroom, that she is the judge. The judge is higher than the prosecution and the defense, and that when the judge speaks, everyone else shuts up, even if the judge is interrupting. Then she should have given him 3 chances and kicked him out on the 3rd time. Really agree with that. Mary M2811, thank you. This one's from Chris Moser 702. And Moser is spelled, well, I'll spell the whole thing, CHRISMOZER 702. He writes, I can't imagine any other judge allowing DB to act as he did. Appeals aren't easy to win, and she knew that. I'm sorry. Ooh, this is bad. I'm sorry. I give her a 45. It became his courtroom. What control did she actually have? She wouldn't allow her husband and sons to talk to her the way he did. I don't think so. So Chris Moser, 702, gives Judge Darrell a 45. This one's from Wendy Witzke, 1874. That's WENDYWITZKI 1874. She writes, oops, hold on, let's not forget Wendy here. Okay, she writes, very short comment. She didn't look up very much and looked around too much. She should have locked her eyes him at all times. Okay, this is a short comment, but one that I had not thought about. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, but how much eye contact was there or wasn't there between Judge Darrell and Darrell Brooks Jr.? Wendy doesn't seem to think that there was nearly enough. And I'll be honest with you, I've not heard that comment before. So it's a pretty good comment. They're all good comments, but some are like, wow, you know? And she did it with all of one line. This one's from Karen-DH8DP. So Karen, Karen dash D as in David, H as in Henry, 8, D as in David, P as in Paul. She wrote, anytime I wrote my comments about Judge Darrell under a video stating the judge, in my opinion, went on and on with Darrell Brooks arguing, many said she had to do that. I disagree. She fed into his arguing and it often went in circles. Well, that sounds like Wendy a little bit. Went in circles and lasted too long. Susan Opper had to break in at times to make a statement and offer a solution to the madness. So, let me finish. I don't think her cutting it short with him would have led to a successful appeal. This appeal is always what makes people believe was the reason she did this. Okay. Really good comment from Karen. And something that she said that also resonates with me that I was really surprised at and did not notice this. If you guys noticed it, please leave it in the comments. I did not notice this. Susan Opper had to break in at times to make a statement and offer a solution to the madness. That's pretty insightful, and I never really thought about it that way, but if Sue Opper, I like that she calls her Susan, if Sue Opper had to make a statement, you know, maybe she didn't even really need to make the statement, but maybe that was her way of offering a solution to the madness. That's pretty wild to think about, because that would mean that the prosecutor, you know, maybe indirectly or maybe very directly was presiding over the hearing. Interesting. All right. I think that's good for now. I don't know if I want to read. Well, let me read two more comments. I'll read two more comments because I want to encourage you guys to leave comments on the videos, and your comments actually inspire me to make videos. So let's go here. I'll read you. You know what? I'm in a generous mood. I'll read you two more. All right. So this one comes at us from SCO840. That's S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, O as in Omar, H as in Henry, 840. And he wrote, we might be talking about this for 100 years. Here's an idea for a future topic. Quote, who will Darrell leave his money to? End quote. It is within the realm of possibility that he will die a wealthy man if he gets his book deal, movie deal, TV deal, rap record deal, etc. If not, Dawn might get the book deal and leave her money to Darrell's only child. Or no, excuse me. If not, Dawn might get the book deal and leave her money to Darrell, her only child. So leave it to Darrell. Dr. Mary might leave money to her grandchild. I know a certain percentage will go to victims, but after that, Darrell can only spend so much at the canteen on potato chips. This is an interesting comment because he acknowledges that a portion will go to the victims. Other people have said that it'll all go to the victims. You know, but then there's the idea of Dawn. What if Dawn gets it? You know, Dawn was never charged, although a lot of us believe that, you know, she was an accessory after the fact. But, I mean, she wasn't been charged. She probably won't be charged. So what if Dawn gets the deal? They can't stop Dawn from getting the deal, right? And then if Dawn gets the deal, like SCO840 says in one of the scenarios he posts, and she leaves the money to Darrell, well, that money is no longer, see what I'm saying? It may have been made by Darrell, but Dawn got the deal. Dawn left the inheritance to Darrell. Can the governments usually don't mess with inheritances and wills and trusts and all that, even if we are talking about a criminal. I mean, they have a lot of safeguards in place, and you can't arbitrarily strip those safeguards without it being, you know, basically unconstitutional. So it would be interesting if that was a scenario. I don't know. One last one. No, you know what? Let's do two more. Thank you guys for being on here with me. Thank you for the 5 thumbs ups. I appreciate it. All right, this one comes at us from Victory Esports 7573. That's V as in vanilla, I as in Isaac, C as in Charlie, T as in Taco, O as in Omar, R as in Robert, Y as in you. S as in Sam, P as in Peter, O as in Okra, R as in Rambo, T as in Taco, S as in Sam, the number 7573. Victory Esports 7573 wrote, Brooks knew if he'd choose to testify, then the prosecution would have the right to question him about the 11/21/21 and the pics of him driving the SUV. He had no answers for that, the narcissist that he is, so his best game was to stall as long as he could and try to make the jury feel sorry for him. This is a really good comment. All of 3 lines. Very good comment. Very good comment. And the last one that we're going to read tonight here at Darrell Brooks Mailbag Live at Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel is from Custard Girl. That's a pretty good handle. Pretty cool handle. Custard Girl. Custardgirl. So Custard Girl, common spelling. No narcissist would ever put themselves in a position to be questioned. He had no intention of testifying, hence his refusal to answer directly. His ego would never allow Sue Opper to question him. Tell me that's not true, guys. Custard Girl, you are 150 million% on the money. He hated Sue Opper. He hated her. Could you imagine her cross-examining him, treating him as a hostile witness? His forehead would explode. He would be so livid that no way. His ego would never allow Sue Opper to question him. 100% right, Custard Girl. 100% right. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Darrell Brooks Mailbag Live. These letters are not from Darrell. They're not to Darrell, but they're about Darrell right here on the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel. So I invite you to check out these lives. I'll be doing more of them. And I really hope that they encourage you to leave some comments, because not only will I read your comment and tell the world that it inspired my video, but hopefully I can get some people to follow you as well in the process, and maybe at least make you think about the possibility of you yourself making videos. Because listen, guys, my channel, I don't show you 2, 3, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours of trial footage and just let it roll so you guys can, I don't do that. Sometimes I don't even have trial content. If I do, it's never more than 30 or 40 seconds, because I'll talk a whole topic, a whole video about it. And a lot of it will incorporate your comments. But the only thing is I've never read your comments out loud like I have right now. And I'm going to start reading, let's put it at 10 comments. I was going to say 12, but I mean, if we go back to, I'm not going to pick on you here because it's a great comment, but Bella Love 1070, BELLALUV 1070, she wrote this would be like 2 large, hearty paragraphs. And, you can't read that in like a minute or 2. Plus, there's a lot of you guys like to put like in caps, or you hyphenate, something in the center there. So you want me to say it with emphasis. So I'm not just going to read your comment. I'm going to read it in the context as best as I can, based on what punctuation you use and pauses and whatnot. So I will try to do justice by your comment. But again, please leave comments. Please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Oh, and if you get a chance, if it's not too much trouble, also please head on over to everythingelsechannel.com. I mean, you don't even have to put all the work, just put everythingelse.com, hit enter. It'll take you right over to that landing page. You could subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. It's already over 1,000. Okay. It's already doing what it needs to do, but I want to do more because I feel that, like Sight Sounds Flavors, next Friday I'm going to El Salvador. So I'll be doing a lot of El Salvador content, right? You guys may get tired of that, for a minute. I will have some other videos to go up, though. Jen 8 says, I'd like your take on the Kansas City 3 and Sarah Boon. Okay, I know about Sarah Boon. I don't know about the Kansas City 3, but I will look into it. Thanks for the comment, by the way. So, basically, it's one of those things where I'm going to put more Darrell Brooks stuff on an Everything Else channel than I am on a Sight Sounds Flavors channel, where I also have to put up music videos, music reviews, restaurant reviews, and that. So by no means leave this channel, but also consider going to everythingelsechannel.com and subscribing there, because there's going to be a lot more. There are a lot more Darrell Brooks videos, Waukesha trial videos, and that over there. The Kansas City 3, I'm not familiar with, so I have to look that up. I'm sorry. Sarah Boon, that's the one that put her boyfriend in the suitcase, right? Is that the one? I had some videos on her in the old Sight Sounds Flavors catalog that I took down. You know, artists are weird. I consider myself an artist because I make videos. And so I just, you know, I said, this is a tourism channel. I don't think people want to like see this trial stuff. I'm going to rebrand, you know, actually, originally I was going to rebrand it somewhere else. And I was like, no, I'm not going to like take videos from one channel, erase them, put them up on another channel, which is not a violation at all because it's still the same video, right? I'm changing it from one channel to the next. I was like, that's weak. So I was just, you know, started from scratch with everything else channel. And then a lot of you guys started asking me like, well, why aren't you putting Sight Sounds Flavors? Did you not used to have an unfiltered section? I was like, yeah. I was like, so I started putting them on here. So long story short, subscribe to both channels, please. But Sarah Boone, though, she's the suitcase person. Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to get off on mental insanity or something. I really do. One other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't really want to get into like the penalty too much, but Alabama just a inmate, and I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't. That's not a. It's not a bad word or anything, but it's just I don't know. Like I don't really want to talk about the. I don't see too much on here because it's a very political issue. But the method they use in Alabama has caused a lot of backlash around the world, and it involves nitrogen. And I'm not a chemistry guy, but basically what it does is it removes all oxygen from the air. And I guess the person's got a mask on, and there's just like a lot of backlash to that. And if there is suffering, if it's cruel and unusual suffering, the Eighth Amendment would take care of that. You know, I think. But at the end of the day, you're somebody. You know what I mean? Like they go in alive and they come out. So, you know, and it's not just somebody, it's somebody that's been convicted of a really, really serious crime. Oh, thank you, Gen 8, so much. I appreciate that. They've been convicted of a very, very serious crime. And yes, there, you know, are innocent people in, unfortunately, and there are some innocent people like over the course of time that have been, but you know, again, we're starting to get into like more of a moral discussion, but I just want to let you guys know about what happened in Alabama. Just be on the lookout for that. And I'm sorry to eat. I've been working nonstop. So I want to talk about Sarah Boone at Everything Else channel. And I got to, what is a Kansas Reed? What is that? Let me look it up. I really apologize for not knowing what that was. Is it this mysterious deaths of 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans who froze? Is that what you're talking about? Um, 3 men were found dead outside a Kansas City home after watching the Chiefs. After 3 friends found dead in Missouri backyard, families demand answers. A turning 5th person at Kansas City home where 3 friends found dead. Kansas City police identify 3 men dead outside friend's home. There's a lot of coverage on this. Yeah, I honestly, I'm so sorry I didn't know about this. I will read up on this. 3 guys starved to death. Yeah, that's very bizarre. I will definitely read up on that and hopefully have a video out tomorrow. Here at Sight Sounds Flavors because the question originated here, but also everythingelsechannel.com. Guys, please, I hate to beg, but subscribe to everythingelsechannel.com. Today's my birthday, and I'm glad I can spend a few minutes with you. Robin, that's so nice. Robin Lanowski. That is so sweet. Where are you from? Tell me where you're from, and tell me what you did today. And if you didn't do anything, don't feel bad because, you know, as we get older, you know, sometimes birthdays, you know, just like any other day. But I hope you did something special. And if you're in Louisville, which is where I'm at, or, you know, Southern Indiana or somewhere like that, I'll get you coffee tomorrow. If not, let me know where you're at because Sight Sounds Flavors goes everywhere. Maybe I'll run into you one of these days and get coffee. All right. What else did I want to talk about? I don't really want to talk about Trump's lawsuit. I don't really care about that. I was surprised that Nikki Haley did as well as she did. She got beat, but she got like 45% or 40% or something like that. That's not like. So we'll see what happens in South Carolina. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, definitely happy birthday to you. That's so cool. Thank you for coming by and like that I'm like a little part of the specialness. I appreciate it. Oh, so we could talk. We'll just talk about stuff. I want to talk to you guys for another 5 minutes because birthday girl's here and I'm not about to leave when birthday girl is here. So Weekend at Bernie's is now on Hulu. Don't know if you guys have Hulu, but I love Weekend at Bernie's. And then all of a sudden, I looked up the guy that played Bernie. He's like 83 years old or something. What's his name? I looked him up. Seriously, I was looking him up. And I was like, because Bernie actually, how much did Bernie, not Bernie Sanders, how much did Bernie Lomax, right? Yeah. Let's see. So, let's see. All right, so his name is Terry Kisser. Is that him? Yeah. So his name is, or is it Kaiser? How would you pronounce that? I think Kaiser, right? Because Kisser is Kisser. His name is Kiser. So Kaiser, I would think, right? So he's 84 years old, and he lives in Illinois, so it just borders Kentucky. But I mean, I wonder like how much money he got for that because like, he wasn't. I don't think he was. You don't think he was alive, right? Do you think he was? Well, I guess he was, right? I mean, like he was, because that wasn't a mannequin or whatever, and this was made back in 1989. So, do you think that, do you think like 90% of his acting was actually acting dead? Because he was, I mean, that was not a rubber like doll or something or a mannequin or whatever. That was like, could you imagine? So like, what are you doing today, Terry? Oh, well, I'm just gonna get dragged around. I mean, like literally, that's what he would be getting. It's just dragged around. Um, mm. But for SAG, you have to say at least I think like 5 or 6 words. I mean, acting dead for 2 hours that should count. I think. I don't know. In any event, do we have any other topics that you guys want to talk about? Anything, anything. I'm also binge watching. Who's the Boss on Hulu. I also have Amazon Prime. They've got like their own like video program or whatever. And I've got Netflix. I don't really watch much Netflix. My ex-girlfriend's got it, so I pay for it and she can watch it. I don't really like Netflix stuff. There's really not anything on there that Sopranos. I'm kind of over that. Sons of Anarchy. I'm over that. I've seen all the Blacklists. I love Blacklist. I don't know if you guys check out Blacklist. It's a really good series, but that's over. They had a series called. It was a series about Designated Survivor. They canceled that after season 3. Really like that. So yeah, but I really like Hulu. Hulu's like becoming my favorite. So I might actually go watch Weekend at Bernie's here a little bit. You know what I wish they had? There's 2 movies I wish they had and they never have. One is The Big Lebowski. I don't know if anybody that has The Big Lebowski. It's probably a good thing that they don't have The Big Lebowski because I would break my diet, go down to the liquor store, buy a bottle of Kahlua, a bottle of vodka, a lot of cream, and get some ice cubes going, and I'd be having White Russians like nonstop. I'm not an alcoholic, but when in Rome, The Big Lebowski is the White Russian movie. And then the other thing that I wish they had, and nobody has it. The closest you can get is Showtime like extra or something. I binge watch anything dark, creepy, funny. Says Jenny. Yeah, definitely. Me too. Is a show. It's a series called Queer as Folk. Okay, and it's about. So there's 2 Queer as Folks. There's Queer as Folk USA, and there's Queer as Folk UK. And I don't mind sharing my sexuality. I'm not gay, and I don't believe I'm bisexual. I believe I'm just heterosexual. And I just say just because kind of boring, but that's just what I am, right? But Queer as Folk, and actually the interesting thing about Queer as Folk is that I believe there was 9 main stars, 7 of which were not gay. So they were heterosexual actors acting as if they were gay, But it was about, you got to understand, like LGBTQ rights have evolved considerably. They've progressed considerably. I mean, now we have like gender neutral bathrooms and we have, like more conscientious education. Again, not going to get into this because I know this is divisive. I know some people have stances. I mean, I think it's a human right, but again, it is a political issue, unfortunately, and so we won't be going into that here. But what I will say though is this series is really dated in the sense that a lot of the forms of harassment, for example, that were legal. I don't know if they were ever ethical, but they were legal back in 2004 when Queer as Folk was out, as opposed to 2024, 20 years later. And it's just a really good series, and I can never find anywhere that has it. I've checked Hulu, I've checked Netflix, I've checked what's the one? Parrot? What's the other one? What's it called? It's not called Parrot. Is it? Is it called Parrot? No, it's not called Parrot. I gotta look it up. But I mean, I've checked them all. Okay, this would be called. Let's see if anyone puts it up. What would it be called? Streaming movie service. Let's see if anybody guesses what I'm trying to say here. I don't think it's Parrot. Peacock. Peacock. That's what it is. So you've got Sling TV, which I'm not familiar. Max, which I have it because I have AT&T. It's HBO. Netflix, I know, of course. Apple TV. I've never really watched much Apple TV or not iTunes or anything. I'm just not an Apple. I have an iPhone somewhere, but I'm not an Apple guy in terms of the music. I like Spotify. I like Hulu and stuff. And then of course Hulu. Then there's Paramount. I didn't realize there's Prime Video. There's Disney. But yeah, Peacock is the one I was thinking about. It's not on anything. It's not on anything. So it's unfortunate. But in any event, guys, I hope the birthday girl has a great birthday. Jenny, thank you so much for that very generous gift. I never do this with that intention. I hardly ever get any, but $10. That's I really appreciate that. I just got some Coke Zero up my nose. Pittsburgh, my grandson took me to dinner, Chinese buffet. Okay, now I'm going to stay a little longer because I've been to Pittsburgh many, many times. I've been to Homestead many, many times. I have a striking resemblance to John Fedman, who was the mayor of Braddock, which is near Pittsburgh. Then he became lieutenant governor, and then he ran for U.S. Senate against Dr. Oz and won. And we're very similar. We both have depression. We both have anxiety. We look alike. We're super liberal. He had a heart attack. I haven't had one. Hopefully I don't have one. But I mean, we're like pretty much twins. And whenever I would go to the supermarkets in Pittsburgh, the ones I liked were called Giant Eagle, and I would go in there, and people thought I was John Fetterman, which I thought was hilarious. And some people didn't want to charge me, which I thought was even more hilarious. So of course I paid. Pittsburgh is an amazing town. If you guys are not familiar with Pittsburgh, you gotta go. I'm gonna tell you why. Mount Washington is the first thing that comes to mind. Do you practice law now? I do. So I do family law, I do immigration law, and I do criminal defense, but mostly family. Mount Washington, because Pittsburgh was a big steel town, it still kind of is, but nothing like before, was a big steel town, and they used to have these things called these lifts. I think they're called lifts, right? It's basically like there's a bunch of hills, right? Mount Washington being like probably the biggest one. It's like a rail that goes all the way up the hill, and it's got like a cart on it. You know what I mean? And I retired from Giant Eagle after 17 years. I love Giant Eagle so much. It's my favorite. That's amazing. These lifts are amazing. And on top of Mount Washington, you have all sorts of nice fancy restaurants, and it's inclines. That's what it is, inclines. What did I say? Lifts? Yeah, inclines. They're amazing. The other thing that's amazing about Pittsburgh is the number. What you eating, bub? Who said that? Like a little. It's like a little Debbie looking protein bar. It was made by Lenny and Larry's. It's really good. They have 3 bridges. No, that's wrong. They have 3 rivers. The how do you say it? Mahogany? It's not mahogany. Mogangala? No. God, I can't. That one, the Ohio, and the wait. They've got the Ohio, the Allegheny, and that one. 3 rivers that cut in and out of Pittsburgh. Okay, Malanga Hala. How do you say it? Let me see. I gotta see. Hold on. Pittsburgh Rivers. Okay. Monongahela. Monongahela. That's the one I couldn't think. Well, I could think of it, but I couldn't say it. So you got the Allegheny River. Why is this in kilometers? Anyways, the Allegheny River is 23 kilometers. The Ohio's 1,500 kilometers, and the Monongahela. There you go. Monongahela is 209. Monongahela is pretty big, but it's the smallest of the three, and the biggest is the Ohio, which comes through Kentucky and Ohio, obviously, and Indiana, and a bunch of other states. So West Virginia. So that's our Darrell Brooks Mailbag Live, which we haven't talked about Darrell Brooks in a good 10 minutes, I don't think, but we talked about it for 20, so that's the majority of the video. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Robin, happy birthday. Jen, thank you for the gift, and thank you for all the great comments as well. And I may do another one. You know what? I'm going to do another one. I'm going to stay on here for another 2 hours. But for intensive purposes of this, I'm going to go over to the Everything Else channel, everythingelsechannel.com, and maybe I'll do a live there, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I think it's time for a rest. So, thank you very, very much to everybody that came through. Robin, happy birthday. Get some ice cream. And if you say you're full, get some ice cream in an hour, okay? And happy birthday. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.